It is time. This is Infinite Investment Game. I'll talk about alternative investments and collectibles. This is not particular financial advice. This is more for entertainment purposes. But hopefully you can take this information and, pick the better collectibles to buy and ones not to buy. So I'm going to be talking about this whole thing with PSA. They, on their podcast, they did change. There's just been a lot of new news coming out from PSA, specifically with they're about to clear up the backlog hopefully by September. I have 150 cards there. Most of them are like actually Yu-Gi-Oh. There's some more soccer stuff like Mbappe. I believe I have some Pele cards there. I have some Messi and Ronaldo. And then the other Ronaldo, like I have people like that are going to be coming back. And then most of the half is going to be Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. And I've had a bunch of other cards that have already come back this year and the end of last year. And they've really been getting it through, like getting these cards through there, and hiring more people, training them. From my understanding is that most of the stuff is from through the first 3 stages. There's like 8 stages of grading, from research and ID, and then there's grading, and then there's quality check and control and printing out labels and stuff like that to shipping. And most of the stuff, the first 3 phases they've already done with. So I guess you have people for specifically almost like assembly line for specific stages of the grading process. You have specific people who are straight up do the research and ID, and then different people who do the grading, and then the other people who do quality controls and printing out labels and stuff like that. And I think so those people who let's say do research and ID have a lot less to do. Even with the economy service, you do get more people coming, but that's still not enough compared to people that hire. So a lot of people are just like twiddling their thumbs, which is good. So now they decide to announce this when PSA is releasing Prism Football, which is a lot to grade, and also Prism Basketball is going to be coming out soon. So when all this happens, people are going to say, hey, we need to get this market share. We can't let all this stuff go to SGC, CSG, and then Beckett, because they actually lowered the pricing as well. So it's like, all right, well, we need to get some of this back, and then we want to really just be prepared. It looks like it's going to be 90 to 120 days. So they plan is like stuff that you send today. They expect it to basically come back 30 days after September. So basically in October in a sense. I guess they'll do the grading of mostly everything starting September-ish, end of July, September-ish, and then you should get it back in October if you're sending it today, basically. Which is nice. Unfortunately, probably if you're doing NFL cards, it's going to be in the middle of the NFL season. Basketball, depending on when it comes out and when you send it, it'll be the beginning of the basketball season, which would be good, really good for basketball. But football is probably going to be really where vintage stuff is going to be at not all-time high, but at the highest. And then the players are going to be like cheap, and there's going to be a bunch of supply hitting the market, which may not be the best, but anyway. And then the cards that they want in 1996, which is modern and ultra modern, 1996 to 2022. Really because they're trying to get in Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, Digimon, some of this other speculative type stuff, Dragon Ball Z, and I like all those card games, but no one really knows long term. Maybe Pokemon vintage stuff is going to stay, but everything else is really speculative. Even modern Pokemon, a lot of that stuff is mass produced scarcity, but I'm not going to get into mass produced scarcity today. So you're going to have all these cards getting sent to PSA. That gets more money for PSA. You see the brand out there more, and more people gravitating into it and being in people's consciousness. And $30 still seems high to me, to be honest with you. Especially, they're not talking about people for vintage. There are a lot of people who like vintage. I personally like vintage as well. And it's like, if I have vintage cards, where I'm going to send them to get graded. Seems like it's not going to be PSA. And really talking about like lower end stuff, more common type guys. And yeah, so that's still an issue that they're gonna like eventually let people who have vintage or just like 1980s or below or 1990 or below like be able to grade their stuff, at least at a cheap price or a cheaper price. So that's all fine and dandy, but also PSA is going to have, if you're going to grade with PSA, you're going to have to either have a membership to access this, or you have to do it through group submitters. There are a few group submitters I think are good. I mean, I've used Got Baseball Cards and Sports Card Investor, but I think there are a few that are good if they don't charge you for also, if it's the same price as doing it through PSA or cheaper, or if they look at your cards and it's not an extra fee. They look at your cards and make sure that, hey, these cards don't look like they're going to grade very high and you may be losing your money. Do you want us to send it back to you for your charge, or do you want us to send them in for grading? If they give you that option, obviously I think it's still good. But let's be real here. PSA is for collecting, but a lot of times it's for flipping. People like flipping PSA, and I think a lot of people who are vocal in the hobby that are big in the hobby now, or just do a lot of content creation, particularly like PSA, and plays a factor in why PSA is liked so much compared to other grading companies. But yeah, like, this is, I would say, good news. Is it going to save the hobby, or people are going to be able to just start flipping now and they're going to have so much money because now they can send all their cards at a cheaper price and they can make all this? The issue is there's less people coming into the hobby and there's more people leaving the hobby. So this won't have as much of an effect, maybe short term, but the issue is you have all these parallels, base cards, silvers, and also even serial number cards being printed, and all these different sets, and people are sending in all these cards and all these sets, and it's going to be more cards and slabs, and then, whatever, pinpoint the junk slab era. But so you're going to have that. And there's less people think cards are that safe an investment, especially when people are now, it's like base is trash, non-colored parallels are trash, and silvers are starting to become trash. Now it's like low serial numbered stuff or serial number stuff is good, and then autos, people are starting to get to, memorabilia, unless it's game worn, is trash, and autos are trash unless it's on card. Like, that's the stuff that's gonna have the premium: on card autos and game worn memorabilia. And then maybe people sell for sticker autos and maybe event worn stuff, and low serial number parallels and a combination of all of them in high grades. So it's going to be more and more complicated, and I don't think the hobby has really figured that out yet, of like what's going to be the most valuable stuff. We kind of understand, but stuff is continuing to change. And that's why I think modern is so speculative, just because it continues to change. At one point, people were saying silvers, and then became base, and then it's like silvers again, and colored parallels, but now it's like colored parallels that are not serial numbered are trash, and silvers are becoming trash. It just keeps changing. For vintage, is not like that. For vintage, is like Michael Jordan, and Michael Jordan necessarily isn't even vintage per se, not yet. Let's do 1969 Topps Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Lou Alcindor. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just have one rookie card. You just have one, and that's all. That's it. You have one rookie card, and it's like, okay, I want that card. And then he has like a alternative card that came out around the same time, was the ruler. Outside of that, like, there's no parallels, stuff. If there's autographs and authenticated, on the card or whatever, cool. But it's not all this complexity. Even Michael Jordan 1986 Fleer is Fleer and his sticker. And then you got some other miscellaneous stuff like the star card. And then you have the Gatorade card, Interlake, and a Nike promo. And then you have some inserts that came out like that later on that people go after. Outside of that, like, it's not even, especially for rookie cards. So that's just the issue. Like, people still got to figure this out, and it's going to take time. So I think just be careful. And that's my video. It's went a bit long, but please like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you want me to talk about. Peace.